Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm finally unboxing all 4 of the new K-pop Demon Hunters fashion dolls from Mattel. But before we proceed, please don't forget to click like, subscribe and leave a comment, and let's jump right into the video. The lineup actually includes all 3 dolls of HUNTR and Jinu from Saja Boys as well, so therefore there are 4 dolls here. I pre-ordered all of the dolls on Mattel Creations on June 22nd, but Rumi, Jinu and Mira all shipped within a week, while Zoey took a little bit longer. She was shipped slightly over a month later I placed the order, therefore I couldn't film it immediately. Anyways, we will go in order, starting with Zoey. And here you can see how she looks in the box. And she looks amazing, honestly, through the packaging. I can clearly tell that it's Zoey. I already see some flyouts in the hair and it's making me a little bit angry. And I can see that her top is pulling upwards. And I'm very confused about that as well. And it seems that parts and pieces of the outfits are made out of plastic. She comes in her How It's Done outfit. She has both of her spirit blades. Here's the character artwork and logo on the packaging, and in the back we have all 3 of the HUNTR characters. I feel like she kind of looks like herself, but not from all the angles, and the head doesn't really rotate that much. You can really rotate her head downwards, but not really that much upwards, and then it goes on the sides and she can rotate it. The face screening is very nice. I like the colors they chose because they're very good, and even from far away, like as I'm holding her right now, you can clearly see the eyes, the nose, the lips. With some dolls, I believe the contrast is not there, but here the shades that were chosen are very wisely chosen in my opinion. The overall impression is very Zoey, like straight eyebrows, purple eyeshadow and brown eyes, love the lip color and the subtle blushing. My favorite part about her face is she has very barely visible freckles. It's a very nice addition to the doll. I didn't expect to see it even, but now that I see it, it makes me very happy. Zoey is also the shortest doll. I absolutely love that they did all different heights here. You can't really tell as I'm holding her. I feel like she's very tall, but in reality, she is the smallest one in the bunch here. She has her classic hairstyle with 2 buns. The hair pieces that are framing her face are completely gelled, and I would love to wash them, but I'm afraid to do so because I have no desire to redo the buns. There's a lot of flyouts in the fringe and it's also very uneven, and under the fringe on the forehead there's a lot of residue, I think from the gel. So I guess I would have to redo the buns, but I really don't want to. The buns are a little bit uneven in the back, one is sitting lower than the other, but at the same time I have to remind myself that even though I treat them as collector pieces, this will be play dolls for children, and this is a very good play doll in my opinion. It looks like Zoey and the quality is amazing. The top is this sort of faux plasticky leather imitation that is printed and it will deteriorate over time and will not look as good. And then she has this sort of harness around her neck that doesn't really connect in the back, so it's kind of open like a necklace and it just like sits on her, you know. I like that they painted the part, like different zips and locks of the belts parts, like they painted them silver and it looks nice, because her arm bracelet is just black piece of plastic, her other one is just gold piece of plastic. My favorite part, I would say, is the fabric pants, and the print on them is very nicely made. I kind of expected that her top would be done in the same technique rather than this faux leather imitation thing, and I love the sneakers, because inside of the sneakers she actually has heeled shoes, but once you put it on it looks like she has flat feet inside, and she doesn't. I love that. Then she has this sort of rubber material overall situation, and I don't like it because it's not painted, it's just flat piece of rubber. I mean, I do see why we needed that, but I'm not sure if it's the best choice of the material. I guess for the price it is. And then we have her little charm thingy, and weirdly this one is colored and it has different colors, even some sparkles on top, and it has colored turtle and little stars, so it's possible to color little details. They just didn't do it for everything. Then the spirit blades are very nice, but they're a little bit sticky, as if they were just painted like yesterday. My spirit blades are also two different shades of gold. Again, I wish they were painted a little bit more, since that's the gimmick, let's say, of the doll. It is what it is, you know, that's what we get. All the dolls in this line have the same articulation, like absolutely all of them, so we can move the head a little bit. We have 2 points in the arms, maybe you can even count 3, but you can move arm up and down, or like, you know, almost 360. Then at the elbow you can also move the arm, and then you can rotate the hand. There's no articulation or joint sort of in the bust or in the hips, like the body is one whole piece. And then we can also move the dolls in the knees. Like, we can do a little bit of movements here. Overall, I think Zoe's outfit is my least favorite in this series. But again, for sort of budget play doll that is licensed, I think this is a very, very good doll. The second doll we're unboxing is Mira, and she's kind of sort of in secret my favorite of the film. She always gives this confident but unimpressed vibe, and I really like that about her. I also like that she's the tallest, love the pink hair, like it's a great character, what can I say. The box design is absolutely the same for all of them, and when I look inside the box I immediately feel like, wow, this is Mira. And I'm just very scared about the hair, because they're attached by these plastic ties inside. Therefore, the hair most probably will come out bended, which means that I will have to wash, restyle and straighten the hair, and I really don't want to do it with these dolls. I just want to keep them as they are. The outfit in the box looks amazing so far. The sword also looks great. I'm very excited to see the boots, and I'm not really excited about the skirt, because I think it's a little bit too fitted and it could be wider. And in the back now, the main picture is Mira. And wow, she's definitely much taller than Zoey. Her face sculpt is great. Like, I feel like I'm holding a character from a film. I don't feel like it's a doll. Like, I feel like she was just on my TV and I took her, you know. That's how great the sculpt is, and overall the colors and everything chosen for her. The expression on her face is exactly what I like about her. It gives confident but also unimpressed, unbothered. Love her. The makeup here is very cute with purple and pink. The lips are pink, and then the eyebrows are sort of red-brown color. Very cute. The hair is a little bit painful for me to look at, because they are indeed bended exactly from how they were placed in the box with the ties. They're also obviously all different length. You can see it in the back. There are all these different layers here. Part of the layers are coming from the pigtails on the sides, but then there's still unevenness, because the part starts here and finishes here. Exactly this amount is missing here, basically. I wish they would first root the dolls much longer, and then they would just snap the length, so everything would be even. I feel like this would be just so much better than having the doll like this, because look, this is sort of the shortest hair we have, and then we have this one. What I really like though is it seems like she's rooted pretty well, and there's no product in the hair. If I wanted to, I could attempt to straighten the hair. I'm just unsure if I can. I need to test first. Overall, I think it's a very good match color-wise, and hair-wise she looks epic. Another thing is, because there's so much hair, like there's not a lot of hair, but there is quite a lot of hair, and all of them get stuck in different parts and pieces of the outfits, and it's pretty annoying. I don't know if there's anything I can do about it, but I have to let you know about that. Now, she's definitely a much taller doll than Zoey. This is more or less, if I keep them together, you can clearly see that Zoey is much shorter. And honestly, she looks great. I don't think I have such tall doll. Maybe I have one from Monster High, the RuPaul doll, that is much taller, but it's in the box. But I don't have any doll that is unboxed that is this tall. I am wondering if she will even fit on the shelves. She has this sort of silver plastic earrings that are getting mixed in with the hair constantly, and I don't know if I like them. They really just look like blank plastic pieces, so it's a little bit meh. I wish maybe they were a little bit more metallic or a little bit more shiny, sparkly. Then she has this loose choker that is painted very badly with the silver in the center. I don't think I can even show you close up of this. Then the t-shirt is very nice. I like the crop top. It looks exactly like in the movie. It closes in the back and it has this piece of plastic attached on one of the shoulders. I do have love and hate relationship with plastic pieces for the dolls. What I like is it will not deteriorate over time like faux leather or vinyl sort of effect of fabrics, but it's just missing some details. Some additional paint job would make it so much better, in my opinion, than just having it solid color. Then the skirt was the thing that I didn't like the most. At this point, as I'm looking at her unboxed, I really like the shape of the skirt. It is exactly like in the movie. What I don't like is this silver plastic piece that is supposed to be a chain. I feel like it just looks like plastic. It does not look like a chain. And then her charm here is painted with very tiny details, and there's even tiniest charms on the charm, which represent Rumi and Zoey, and I absolutely love that. She also has this rubber black gloves, again just solid black color. They're sort of nice, they work well with the outfit. I think she had them in the movie. The standout piece in this whole doll for me are the boots. They are amazing. They are actually like a fake shape because her foot starts exactly like here and then it goes down, so there's like a shape of the foot inside that is not the shape of the boot, and it just works great in my opinion. And the boots are so well made. I really wish that all the dolls had this pair of boots with them, because it's just great. I absolutely love them. Now the sword is another important part of this doll. It is so gigantic. It does give the same feeling as Zoe's, like it just was painted. I feel like the paint didn't dry fully or something, or maybe it's just the quality of the paint. It even smells a little bit like paint. And the sword has some visible marks of gold paint all over the blue plastic as well for me. Not all over, but a little bit, and it is quite noticeable. But I mean, look how gigantic the sword is. Like, that's crazy. Articulation wise, all the dolls have the same exact joints, have same exact moving points in them, so we're not gonna go in detail here. I think what we have is enough, but I wish we also had the cut right here so we could rotate them like this. This would be very nice for the posing, because for some people this will be play dolls, but for others it will be like action figures, statues, figurines that you put on the shelf. I am such person, for example, and I would love to find the perfect pose that I love for them as a group, you know, and having more options to pose them would be great. My overall impression of Mira is that she's much better than Zoey. I feel like the fabric choices were much better, the color choices, even as the character creation were much better, but the hair between Zoey and Mira so far are kind of same issue for me. Let's move on to Jinu because he doesn't have hair. And if we speak about Jinu, he has exactly the same box, even though he is from Saja Boys' Soda Pop version of this, while the girls are from HUNTR's How It's Done part of the film. So it's kind of a mismatch in this group, but I really hope they would bring all the other Saja Boys dolls out so I could have a whole band all together. Through the box we can see that he has sunglasses, soda can, and he actually has an extra hand to swap his heart-shaped hand. Now, he is so adorable, he is taller than Mira, so he is the tallest doll in this line, and I really like it. It's like he doesn't have anything extra that would bother me, for example. I am sure that some people are really bothered by the fact that he doesn't have rooted hair, but for once I'm happy not to worry about restyling the hair. Long hair is already very hard for me to restyle. I just can't imagine how difficult the short hair would be. And there is another Jinu doll that is coming out. I already pre-ordered it and it does have rooted hair, so let's see how this will go. Maybe I'll be proven wrong. From the front, to me, he looks exactly like Jinu. I'm not sure I would recognize him from the side profile, but other than that, I really like that he has a little bit of smirk in the face. I like the color choices. Again, I can clearly see his face even from far away, and I really like the color choices that they did designing this doll. Then he is quite a jacked doll. Like, I took off some some pieces and wow, I need to hit the gym. I absolutely love the outfit and how they made it, so you don't have to constantly undo the front, because everything is being undone in the back, like both the tank top that he has, the pink tank top, and the shirt. In the front it's inside the pants, and then pants have the belt, the pink belt, and it actually has a tiny sort of silver elements for where the metal parts would be, and that's what I was missing in the plastic details of the Huntrix dolls. The jeans are very nice, very soft fabric, but still kind of stiff at the same time. Like, it's soft to touch, but it does hold shape very well. And then he has the little sneakers with the heart on them. Very cute doll. And actually, potentially, I might get a second Jinu just to keep him in a box, because I think that he looked great in a box as well. And I'm mostly in box collector, so it's quite important for me. He does have all the same articulation as all the girls have, so we're not gonna go through it so much, but he does have his own accessories. So he has a hand that can replace this hand, and it's exactly the same hand as the other one that he has, just mirrored. So I'm not even gonna touch it. I really like that they gave him the pose, you know, the soda pop pose, the heart emoji. Then he has glasses, and they're very weird because they are just a specific frame in the movie, kind of when he has them down at the tip of his nose. The glasses don't work otherwise, they just don't mix well with the hair. And then he has a tiny soda can which says Saja Boys, and the quality of it is questionable. Mine has a dent right at the logo of Saja Boys, unfortunately, and I was not able to place it the same way as they did in promotional images as well. So, you know, I feel like these two things were sort of afterthought in many ways. But the doll is great, like, I really like him as a doll. And last but absolutely not least is the main character, Rumi. And just from the box, when I look at her, I immediately know it's Rumi, like, so iconic, and she looks great, honestly. If you look at the face, I really love the makeup. She has white, purple, and pink eyeshadow, brown eyes. She has the same sort of smirk like Jinu has, and she has visible markings like under her turtleneck. I'm not gonna show you the markings though, but if there is promo image, I will put it on the screen. I believe it's on her neck and on her arms. Now the hair here, gosh, where do I start? The ends of the hair are so thirsty, and there's a lot of flyouts everywhere, but there's no product almost nowhere in the hair. I feel like most product is in the ends, weirdly enough, right? The hairline of Rumi was also made here. Like, this makes it look less like a doll, and I really like it. It kind of gives this action figure vibes. I also like that they use several different purple shades to create the hair, because it gives a lot of dimension when you look closely at the doll and you see sort of a lighter purple, a darker purple, a medium purple. It really makes it stand out much more. The braid is incredibly thick, I would say, and is not exact replica of the hairstyle from the movie, but I guess that's what they could achieve with the hair. And I feel like they did a good job. What I don't like is obviously that I have so many flyouts everywhere, like on the braid, random loose pieces, the dryness, and I absolutely hate this yellow accessory as well. Like, why would you put that? Why? Why is it here? Like, I know it's supposed to be here, but it's just a piece of plastic attached by an elastic to the hair, and I'm like, I don't know what to do with that. So let's talk the outfit, because it has this faux leather material as well, like printed faux leather imitation. And the jacket is sort of closed in the center by a zip tie, and the zip tie is not part of the outfit. Couldn't they put a little button so I could close the jacket? Because of this, I don't want to open the zip tie, therefore I cannot show you the markings. But from promo images, I know that she has a sleeveless turtleneck, and I know where the markings are. I just am afraid that once I open it, it will just pop open, it will look very bad, and I would like to keep it like this, because I really like the outfit, how it is now, and, you know, that's where I'm at. And the shorts, I really hated them from the box, but once I took the doll out, I don't hate them as much. They do look exactly like in the film, which is great, and the charm that she has also has tiny details painted on it. I'm surprised that all these tiny painting details went to the charms and not like earrings that is next to her face, for example. Or the shoes, we didn't talk about it yet, but the shoes shape is gorgeous, but they are painted so badly. The pink stripe on them is half see-through, like in some areas, and the lines are super wobbly. Again, I understand it's a playline doll. Personally, I would like it to be as perfect as possible, right? Saying that though, it feels to me like I'm being very negative. I'm obsessed with this, okay? I'm so happy that they exist and that I get to put it on a shelf and have all of them as memory. Because when the movie came out, I watched, like, the first day I watched it twice in a row. I was so impressed, and I think I couldn't stop listening to the songs for like a whole year. Like, just recently, for the couple of past month, I didn't listen to any KPop Demon Hunter songs, but oh my gosh, this was an obsession. Also with Rumi, this is the first doll where we actually see this part very well on the doll, and that's when the doll stand just fell off. But this is when I realized that you can also rotate the legs like this, like in the knee area. Like, it is so cool. I feel like you can do some interesting poses, you know, that usually or normally you wouldn't be able to. Now, the sword she has is exactly all the same materials, but it has very little bits of gold that is not really that visible versus Mira, for example, where the gold paint was really annoying. At the end of the day, I feel like Rumi is, okay, she's a main character, but I feel like she has some better options here, but the best character design is Mira. Like, the materials chosen for Mira, I feel like the face sculpt is very, very new. And my favorite part about Rumi would be the markings on the body that I didn't really see, but I saw some parts of them, and the hairline. I really like the hairline. And if I didn't have all these issues with the hair on every single doll, because, you know, when I open the doll and I see the hair, that's the first thing I'm thinking, like, okay, I need to fix the hair, and then I'll be fine. Seeing these difficult hairstyles not being perfectly glued in place makes me feel like I have to fix it, you know, and I don't want to. So that's why I gave a negative feedback on that. Because otherwise, if my niece gets this doll, even if the hair just a purple ponytail, she'll be incredibly happy. She wouldn't care if it has all this intricate work on top that is very hard to reproduce at home. Now, you can sort of see them in the back, and I told you Jinu is the tallest one, then we have Mira that is slightly shorter, then we have Rumi that is even shorter, and then we have Zoey that is very short. And I love that they kept proportion of each character based on the film. It would be weird now that they would be all the same height after we saw in the movie that they're different height, you know? And they look so good together. Rumi and Jinu together, I'm literally feeling like I'm holding two movie characters in my hands. They look so good and so correct, right? I don't think there is really a need to rank them or choose like favorite, most favorite. My most favorite choices for the fabrics would be Mira. But I would say that my overall favorite is all the 3D sculpting that was done for this line. It really amazes me, honestly. It really made it come alive, right? And just overall, I'm excited to see what would be the next wave. I know there's one wave which is like singing dolls, which I'm not really into, but I'm really into potentially they will do pajama set, because there was this whole situation of them being in the house, right? And they all wore pajamas. I feel like this could be very cool and would be a nice set. I did get the original trio as well, and I don't know when it's coming. I got the Jinu limited edition as well. I don't know when that is coming, probably in a year. But I'm excited to unbox even more KPop Demon Hunters dolls in future. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to click like, subscribe, and leave a comment. And I hope to see you on the next one. Bye!